Hi class, so I know a lot of people had trouble with this tutorial. I will admit it wasn't an easy tutorial to kind of get through, so I'll kind of start you guys off with for some people who are having problems. I know some of you had reached a certain point, so regardless of where you are, maybe you got something, missed something, so you can definitely check it out. So the first thing is I already created my document size, 640 by, you guys know how to do that. It's 640 by 960, RGB, 72 dpi. Go to your preferences, general, make sure you have 1 point increments in there. Guides and grids, make sure you have grid line every 5, subdivisions every 1. So I have 2 screens open, so I'll have to scroll through some of the screens. So if you see any inactivity, it's because I'm scrolling through. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is create your rectangle. So your first rectangle is a 640 by 30 pixels shape. Say OK. You make that black. You take the outline off, and you just put that to the top of your page, just like so. Okay, then you create your second rectangle. Your second rectangle is going to be 640 by 200. What I do is just click the rectangle tool over here, and then just go, click once, and you can bring up your box, and you can type the numbers in. So 640 by 200. Say OK. It's going to be black. We'll change that color later. You can line it up like so. And then they want you to fill it with RGB colors. My RGB colors over here. I can just go 50, 50, 50, tabbing through, so I get that gray color in there. Then I want to disable snap to, so go to view, snap to grid, make sure that's off. And I already checked my increments, so it's already 1 pixel. So then what you want to do is create a new shape, 2 new copies. So I'm going to go close for this one so you can see if you're having trouble with this part. So you select that once, then you hit Apple or Command C, Control C, and then Control F twice. So I already have 3 shapes here going backwards. So what they want us to do is you want to select the first one and just move it down 1 pixel. Now it's hard to see if you don't go up real close. Okay, you're not going to be able to select it properly if you're not close. So that's it right there. That shape in the front has been moved 1 pixel down. So select both the middle one and the top one, and then go to your Pathfinder tool and select minus. Okay, and you'll have a small shape by itself. Okay, and then I want you to fill this with black. So black is just 0, all zeros, enter. So you have that little black shape right there. Okay, so then they want us to go and select the original shape, right? The same one that was in the original. They want us to do the same thing again, copy, and paste in front, paste in front. So once again, you have 3 images, right? I'm going to go back, undo, undo. So I have to go, I'm going to be going lower down now. So they want us to select the top shape and move it up 1 pixel. So I'm going to take my magnifying glass and go really close up. Right? Then they want us to select the top shape, select the middle shape, and then use the minus tool again in Pathfinder. So once again, you have a little square shape right here, and they want us to fill that shape in black as well. So we can just go here and fill it in black. Okay, so step 5, we want to select that gray rectangle again. We're going to go copy and paste twice. Command F, and then we want to select the top copy and move it down 2 points, or 2 pixels, 1, 2. Okay, then once again select the middle and select the top one. So remember there's three grays, right? There's the middle we selected, and then held on the shift key to select the next one in front. And then we once again hit the minus, and then we want to fill the resulting shape with a linear a gradient. So we'll select linear gradient, and we need to add the colors that they have on the gradient shape. So that's 100. That's 100 on this one. Alright, so if you have CYMK, change this to RGB. And then you're going to go 100, shift, tab 100, tab 100. And then the last one is also 100. Change that CMYK or K to RGB. And if you're missing that third color, just go to your swatches panel, get your swatches up, and I can just drag a, see my swatches here. Just drag any color inside of that, and then just change that to, that's 200 by 200. G and B 200, and the positioning for the in the middle. Okay, so step 6, they want us to select that gray area again, and this time they want us to copy and Command F twice. Select the first shape and move it up 2 spaces, and then they want you to select the, so you might have to go real close. When you selecting these, make sure you go right up to that first one and the second one, and then get the Pathfinder tool, and once again do the minus. And then they want you to pretty much fill it with the same gradient as the one on the top, so you can fill that with a linear gradient. It's gonna probably remember the last set of colors that you used. So here you have there you have so far what it looks like. I'm gonna zoom out. So you have your shape on the top, and you have this little, which we're gonna actually change right now, and then the 2 elements on the top and the bottom. Okay, so then they want us to do, whenever you see my screen go blank, it's because I'm using a second screen. So they want us to select the large rectangle here, and then go to the Appearance panel. So if you don't have the Appearance panel up, just go to Window and Appearance. Okay, with that selected, got a lot of windows open here right now, all the panels. With that selected, they want us to add a second fill. So let me get rid of these graphic styles out the way. So the second fill is here. So you already have a fill, it's there. Click on this little icon, it's going to give you a second fill, and it's going to add it right here. You're going to make that black, okay, by selecting the black color. It's okay, it's going to go black at first. Then what they want you to do is lower the opacity. So go to opacity right below it, type in 7, hit enter. It's going to get lighter. And then they want you to change the blending mode to multiply. Okay, hit enter. So you should see this little screen here, same as on the tutorial. Then what they want you to do is go to Effect. Then they want you to go to Sketch, Note Paper. It's going to bring up this little dialog. You punch in the numbers. Image balance is 50. Graininess is 20. And relief is 25. Right? You should have that in there. Hit OK. And then you're going to get this little texture. So that little note paper thing is giving you a little texture on there. Say OK. So this is step 8, where I think it was a little bit confusing. So step 8 is really asking you to select these elements right here and apply new fills. And what you want to do is you want to select one of those gradient lines, and then you want to go to new fill, which is here. And then you want to select that by going to by adding a gradient to that. And you can, while you have that open, you can select linear gradient, and it's gonna give you that number. And then you have to type in under RGB, they want you to do 80, 80, 80, and 50. So we're on step 8 right now. 50, 50, 50. And then the middle one, to get rid of it, you just drag it away. So you have a new fill, and do the same thing for the bottom. You select that, you create a new fill, and then they want you to add a linear gradient. Alright, move that one out of the way. Do the same thing. It will be 70, 70, 70. And then this other color would be 50, 50, 50. Okay. So that's what it's looking like right now. One of the things is that when you select that linear gradient and you have, they want you to select this right here, or just once. Oops, sorry. Just click it once and then change the opacity down to 0 opacity. So 0 opacity there, and then this one we click on it, linear gradient, 0 opacity. So that's why we have those two elements on there. I think this one has a second fill. This one didn't have a second fill, so you fill it linear. Okay, so now it's okay. So you're back. We're on step 9, and step 9, you want to go to Window, View, Snap to Grid. You want to pick the rectangle tool. Get some of these out of the way. Get the rectangle tool and make your image 640 by 70. Okay, you want to put it right below the other graphic. Fill with the gradient that's below. So we have another gradient that we need to fill, and this first one will be 25 by 25 by RGB, and then the last one would be 35, 35, 35. So you got to put the opacity back to 100 on these. And then they want one more color, and I can get my swatches panel up here and drag a third color in there, and then location is 80%, and then you change that third color to 40, 40, 40. It doesn't matter what color you put into the gradient, you could always change it. This also has to be opacity 100. Okay, so you have, that's the shape, so that's step 9. Okay, so step 10, they want us to take the rectangle tool again, create another shape, and that shape is 590 by 10. And they also want you to go to the shape tool and type in 5 pixels rounded corners, right? So if you go up to it real close, you'll see it has a rounded shape, right? Originally, if you have it white, that's fine. We're going to change that. In any case, it doesn't matter what color it is, we're going to change the color. You could use your align tool to align everything in the middle. And then we'll continue this tutorial in the next video. So look out for the next video. We'll finish step 10.